Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone to the part 2, the writing part for the grade 10 advanced end of term questions. We have 5 written questions. These are free response questions where you need to specify each and every step in detail. You need to do everything in writing. You can't do any calculator or shortcut methods. So make sure you write each step. Don't leave any step. Don't jump to answers or don't jump steps. So here in this part, we have 5 questions. So we will go through them one by one. Question number 16 to question number 20. The first question in this is to multiply polynomials by monomials. It's a basic multiplication sort of problem. And there is also, real world problems. We'll look into all that. Let's try doing these problems. They are very simple, isn't it? Over here, b is a monomial. To multiply it with this polynomial, what you do is distribute this evenly throughout. So it'll be b squared multiplied by b will be b cubed. Now what you can do is, because this is a direct problem, we can just write b into b squared minus b into 12b plus b into 1. This is more detailed methods, okay? Because it's in writing, it's better to have more detailed, more elaboration. And now b times b squared is b cubed minus 12b times b is b squared plus b. That's it. That will be the answer. Same thing over here. You need to write all the specified details, but I'll just write the answer. It will be f cubed plus 2f squared plus 25f. That would be the answer. Same thing over here. Now, this is a big term, but it's fine. You can do minus 3m cubed times 2m cubed. Now, everywhere you have to multiply minus 3m cubed. Times what is this? Again, it's minus over here, minus 12m squared. And then minus 3m cubed times 2m minus 3m cubed times 25. Why did I write minus over here? Because it was minus only for this term. All the others are just plus. Now, minus remains. 3 times 2 is 6. M cubed times m cubed. The powers add up. It will be m power 6. Let me tell a little bit of details on this. You can see whenever we have m cubed multiplied by m cubed, all you need to do is the base is the same. Add the powers up. It will be m to the power 6. Whereas if it was m cubed the whole power 3, in such cases there's only one base, the powers are powered up. It will be 3 multiplied by 3, that is m to the power 9. Understand this very well. When you have m cubed multiplied by another term which is the same term, you add the powers. Or if it was m to the power 4 multiplied by m power 2, it will be m power 6. But if it was m power 4 the whole square, then you multiply it and write m power 8, 4 times 2. So this is the difference. I hope this is clear. Now let me just continue over here. Let me just erase this part. So all you need to do is same thing. Multiply it. It will be minus and minus will be plus here. 12 times 3 is 36. M to the power 5. M cubed plus m squared will be 3 plus 2 is 5. Minus 6m to the power 4 minus 75m cubed. This will be the answer. I hope this is clear. So these are the answers. You can check the answers. Very simple problems just by using the distributive property. You know you're distributing this evenly, right? That's distributive property. And then multiplying and simplifying. Please do the other problems by yourselves. These are all same type and all the answers are shown over here. Please do it by yourselves. Even over here, sometimes it might take a few more steps because you need to rearrange this. See over here, you can simplify same variable, that is minus 15x squared plus 2x squared. When you solve it, it will be negative 13x squared. And then over here also, minus 6x and minus 3x is negative 9x. Why minus 6 minus 9 is minus 6 and minus 3 is minus 9x. 27 is alone, write it over here. Same way you can solve them. Even over here, it's the same method. We will go to the real world problem. There's no much difference here. See, here there is plus dividing these two terms. So multiply this here and here. That's one term. Plus multiply 7 here and here. That's the thing. And here also it's not at all. See, what we did a while ago was only single term. So you have to do this separately. See, basically what happens is you're doing this here, distributive property, and same thing minus this over here. Okay, there'll be just many terms, that's it, but it's the same concept over here. And the detailed methods are shown over here in detail, everything is there. And now we go to the real world problem. See, what they have asked over here is the sum of the first n whole numbers is given by the expression half n square plus n. Expand the equation by multiplying them and then find the sum of the first 12 whole numbers. So there is nothing much over here because they have told this is the expression given. You just have to expand. So given expression is half n squared plus n expanded by multiplying this inside. That's distributive property. Half n squared, sorry. It'll be n squared plus half n. And that's the thing, you're just expanded it. Now over here they have told whole numbers is how many first 12 whole numbers. This is the sum of the n whole numbers, any number. But we just want first 12, so substitute n equals 12 and solve. It'll be half 12 squared plus half of 12. So 12 squared is 144, half of that will be 70 plus 2 is 72. You can just write in, this you can put in calculator also. Plus 6, it'll be 78. So that should be the answer. Let's just check. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing much over here to do. Okay, they have done this. Now, yeah, we have done that same thing. I've written it as half n squared, or this is equal to n squared by half. That's the same thing. Okay, there's no wrong in this. Now the same thing is done. Over here, 12 squared is 144. Half of that is 72. Here, half of 12 is 6. And then we get the answer. Let's look into another problem over here. It's about college. Troy's grandfather gave him $700 to start his college savings account. Troy's grandfather also gives him $40 each month to add to his account. Okay. Troy's mother gives him $50 each month, but has been doing so for 4 fewer months than Troy's grandfather. Okay, this is important. 4 fewer months in the sense, his grandfather gave 4 months more. Now imagine January, Troy's grandfather started giving. Jan, Feb, March, April. And after 4 months, on May, month of May, Troy's mother started giving. So his grandfather gave 1, 2, 3, 4 months extra. Okay. So see, Troy received M months. Let's write a simplified expression for the amount of money Troy received M months after his mother started giving him the money. So they are saying we must start from this month when his mother started giving him the money. So M is over here. Okay, from this point. So if we understand it properly, we know the months of money given by his mom is M. So how many months was his grandfather giving? M plus 4, isn't it? 4 months are extra. That's it. What is the coefficient? How much does his grandfather give? It's 40 here. And how much does his mother give? It is 50 here. That's it. And okay, there is one more thing. This is plus, and there is one more thing. His grandfather already gave him a direct amount of money, that is 700. Not every month, once only. So it's a intercept. We just write it like this, 700. Sorry, this is not the intercept. This is a constant value. So we don't have a slope. It's not incrementing or increasing every month. It's a standard. So that's the thing. Oh, and then we have to simplify. Sorry, I forgot about that. Now, this is the equation. I hope you understand the equation. I'll write it over here again. First thing is the constant amount of money once only his grandfather gave. That's 700. Plus, his grandfather gives 440 every month. But he started 4 months before his mother. So, M plus 4 plus 50M. That is what his mom gives. Now, we will solve it. 700 plus 40M plus 4 times 4 is 16, so it's 160 plus 50m. And over here it will be 40 plus 50 is 90m plus 700, 860. This is the answer. Let's just check. So yeah, that's it. 860 we got here. So this is the amount of money he received after m months. Now if you put it as after 10 months, you just substitute m as 10 and solve. That is the money he has, nearly 2000, 1800 or something dollars. So this is how we do it. Now the next one, question 15. Sophia went to the farmer's market to purchase some vegetables. She brought peppers and potatoes. She bought, sorry, peppers and potatoes. The peppers weigh 0.39 each and the potatoes weigh 0.29 each. She spent $3.88 on vegetables and bought 4 more potatoes than peppers. Okay, this is important. So peppers, 4 more potatoes than peppers. So if peppers is, say, over here x is the number of peppers, so x is peppers, right? Potatoes is x plus 4. That's the difference. And what is the cost of peppers? It's 0.39x. Potatoes is 0.29. This is add. What is the total amount of money? If you add these both, it must be 3.88. That's it. Now we can solve it. How? It's 0.39x, that is the pepper, each pepper, and x is the number of pepper. It can be any number, doesn't matter. Plus potatoes is 0.29 each, but she bought 4 more than peppers, x plus 4. Now I'm just writing the question again. Let me solve it over here. Distributive property, 0.29 times x plus 0.29 times 4 equals 3.88. Now add this up. 30 plus 40 would be 70. 70 minus 2 is 0.68 x. Now here we are 29. 30 times 4 is 120 minus 4. It will be 120 minus 4 is, something happened to my mind, 1.16. Okay, this is the variable, equals 3.88. So take this to the other side, it's 0.68x equals, when you subtract it, you will get 3.88 minus 1.16. Here we have to do 88 minus 16 will be, you can use the calculator for this, it's fine. It'll be 72 and 2 over here, 2.72 and 0.68x. Now this one, you better use calculator. It's a bit hard. It's 70, 140, 140, 21, 280. It's nearly 4, I guess. 3 points. I think so. It's about 4. Let's just check the answers over here. Yeah, the answer is 4. Absolutely. You can just use the calculator. 2.72 divided by 0.68. That'll be 4. Now then, okay, we found x value. That is the x is the number of peppers. What is the number of potatoes? Add 4 to it. That's number 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. So she bought 4 peppers and 8 potatoes. That's the answer. Here we have a geometric problem. The volume of a pyramid can be found by multiplying the area of its base and 1/3 of its height. That is given over here. That's the formula basically. What is the volume of pyramid? So V is equal to 1/3 of base into height, right? Vertical height. That's given also in words, but you can remember this. Pyramid is always given by 1/3 b into h. The area of the rectangular base of a pyramid is given by the polynomial equation. See, base is given as this. Write a polynomial expression to represent the volume of the pyramid V, and if its height is 10 meters. Okay, the h is given as 10, b is given. You need to write the polynomial equation. V equals 1/3. What is b? X square minus 4 times x minus 12, and h is multiply this by 10. So we have the constant 10 by 3 into x square minus 4x minus 12. I think so. You need to multiply this inside. Like, this is the answer, but let's just check what they have done. Yeah, they have multiplied it inside. Okay, they have simplified it further. So let's just multiply 10 thirds. Inside will be 10 by 3x squared minus 10 times 4 is minus 40 by 3x. And lastly, we have here 3, 1 time, 3, 4 times. 4 times 10 is minus 40. That's it. That's the answer. So this is the simplified version. And this is question number A. Let's just see whether there's question. Yeah, there's a question number B. They have told find the volume when x is 12. So what you do is wherever x is there in this particular volume is equal to this, right? Wherever x is there, put 12. 12 whole squared minus 40 by 3 into 12 minus 40. That's it. You can just use the calculator for this and use the calculator and write the answer. The volume is 280. Or you can do it manually. It's 12 squared is how much? 144, and then simplify. It'll take time, but you can do it by yourselves as well. So that's the answer. So that's the thing. It's 280 meter cube when x is 12. If x is any other value, you should just substitute that instead of x in the volume equation. Okay, so now over here, again we are solving, the multiplying polynomials. Only the thing is there is terms both the side of inequality. Now how would you do this is solve both the sides. Over here, left side will be 7t squared plus 5 times 7 is 35t minus 7 times 9 is 63 plus t equals 7t squared minus 2t plus 13. This is the answer. Now things get cancelled off. This cancels with this. Let's group all the t terms together and the numbers at one side. So I'll bring this 2t to the other side because 35 is bigger here. 35t plus t minus becomes plus when you bring it to the other side equals 63 to the other side is 13 plus 63. This is 38t because 35 plus 2 plus 1, that is equal to, now this is 76. Okay, now what is 38 times 2? 38 times 2 is 76. So divide both the sides by 38. You will get t equals 2. So the answer is 2. So that's the answer. You can even check your answer by putting it in calculator. You will get the same answer. That's the thing. These are the steps, the detailed steps. And over here, it's the same thing. Please make sure you go through the detailed steps and solve it by yourselves. First, solve it by yourselves and then check for the answers. Here, it's just many, terms. All must be over here. Each term, wherever distributive property is, they multiply them and then simplify it further. You can see over here, the squares cancels off and you will only have a z value. And whatever answer you get over here at 0, you can even double check it by putting this entire term in calculator. But wherever c is there, just put it as alpha x and then you can solve. Same thing over here. And the last problem is this one. Please solve it by yourself and then check it over here. So that's it. Please do practice more problems. Be thorough, especially the real world problems. Make sure you understand the problem, understand the question properly. Many things will be in the question and then solve it accordingly. Please write each and every step and then solve it. Question number 17 is about interior angles of polygon. Here we have to prove and use polygon interior angle sum theorem. This is a simple formula. We'll look into a problem and solve. I hope you remember this formula, that is n minus 2 times 180. What does this give? This gives the interior angles, all the inside angles. The sum of all the inside angles is given by this formula. So I'll write sum of interior angles. That's SIA, sum of interior angles is short. This is the formula. Let me first solve it. Here they have told to find the value of each interior angle. But first let's find the total angle from this formula. How many angles are there? Sides are there. This n is side, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4 minus 2 times 180. So it becomes 2 times 180. That is 18 times 2 is 36. It's 360 degrees. This is the total interior angle. Now, how much, what is this specifying basically? This means we know it's 2x plus 5, 2x plus 7, x. It's the sum of all these. So if I'm writing x plus 2x plus 5 plus x plus 2x plus 7, that is equal to 360 degrees. Because that is the sum of all the interior angles, and the inner angles have been mentioned over here, right? Add them up. Now, what do we do here? We just have to add up all the x's and numbers separately. X plus 2x is 3x, 4x, 5, 6x. 6x equals, I'll take all the numbers to the other side. It will be 360 minus 7 minus 5. So here, what do you have? It is 12, so it will be 348. 6x. Now I should just divide. Over here it will be 300, 6, 5, 50, and over here how much we have? 3, 53. Okay, x is, sorry, not 53, it's 58. Okay, this is the answer. It's 58 degrees for x is 58 degrees. Okay, now if you're thinking how to calculate, see, this is basically 348. Just use the calculator, that's the easiest way. But there is, mentally you can easily do it. When you're dividing this, just split it into 348. What is 6 divided by 300? It's 50. Plus 6 divided by 48 is 8. That's it. Now here then, we got x value, but that's not over. X value is 58. That means what is this? R is 58, T is 58. What about the other two angles? It is 2 times 58 plus 5. This is very important. You need to do it. 50 times 2 is 100 plus 16, 116 this is, plus 5, this will become 121. Now here also you have to do the same thing. 2 times 58 plus 7, it's 116 plus 7, that is 123. These are the answers. Okay, it will be about, where are the answers? It's 121 for Q, yes, and R and T is 58 and 58, and lastly we have 123 for S. That's how we do it. Very easy. Same method over here, just use the interior sum of interior angles, and then, okay, I just realized one thing. They have written sum of all this. What I had written is sum of interior angles. That means those are the angles itself, and then directly solve it. It's fine, you can follow this method, it's the same thing. Here as well, sum of all this J, M, L, K equals n minus 2 times 180 degrees. This is a very important formula. Substitute this, solve this. Over here we got 360 degrees. Now substitute these values and solve it up. You'll get the answer. Then for each angle you need to individually solve it as well. Same way over here. The same concept. These two are 90 degrees. They have already specified. So when you're solving here, 2 will be 90 degrees. And then remaining substitute and then solve for the individual angles. Same thing here as well. Just the number of sides changes. Here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 minus 2. That is 3 times 180. It is 540 degrees. In the previous problem also it was 5 sides. So it's 5 minus 2 times 180. And we have a real world problem here. It's about architecture, La Tribuna. So in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy, there's a room built by Buontalenti called the Tribune. Okay, it's La Tribuna in Italian. This room is shaped like a regular octagon. What is the measure of the angle formed by 2 consecutive walls of tribune? Okay, that means you need to find this angle basically. It's same thing, same concept over here, but now it's an octagon. That means all the angles are equal here. Okay, all these angles are equal. So how many sides are there in octagon? It's 8, right? So the formula is n minus 2 times 180. Here it's 8 minus 2 times 180. So it's 6 times 180. So 185 times is 900. 900 plus 180 will be 1080. So this is the angle for all. But we want only for one particular side, right? This is the total interior angle. How do we find for one? So just divide this by 8. 1080 divided by 8. You will get the answer. We can just use the calculator here. It'll take a long time. Let's use the calculator and solve. It is 1080 divided by 8. The answer is 135. So the answer is 135 interior angle. That's it. So this angle between two consecutive wall is 135. Okay. So very simple. Now this is the last problem. Another real world problem. Theater. A theater floor plan is shown over here. The upper 5 sides are a part of regular dodecagon, sorry. Decagon is 10 sides. So what is dodecagon? It's 12 sides. Find this measure. Okay, now we must understand this is actually a dodecagon. So if you complete it, these angles are belonging to dodecagons, right? So what we do now is we use the sum of interior angles n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees for dodecagon. Or you can take it as 1 2 3 4. Let's do it for dodecagon first. Okay, what is this? 12. It'll be 12. N is 12 minus 2 times 180, and this is 10 times 180. That is equal to 1800. That's very useful now for us. Why? Because we found out what will be the total interior angle of a dodecagon. Now let's divide this by 12 and find what is it for one, one angle, this much. How much is it? So this will be, this is easy to solve. It's 12, 150, 1.5i, because 18 divided by 12 is 1.5. 1.5 is the answer, and then you have to multiply two zeros. It'll be going over here. It'll be 150. Okay. Now this is 150. Now 150 is over here, here. But what about this one? And what about this one? Now that is the thing, right? So here it changes. You should know that here it's half of that. See this line, right? So looking at this figure, you can tell this is 75. Let me just change the color over here. Let me just make this blue. Now it's more visible. See this one. Now we know this is 150, 150, 150, 150. Fine. But what about this and this? You can do half of 150 is 75. So it'll be 75 here, 75 here. These are all the interior angles. Now there is one more thing. We need to solve A, right? So I have found all these 75, 150, 150. That's fine. But how do I find this one? How do I relate it? We did this for dodecagon because they mentioned it and we found these sides. That's fine. But now you need to apply the sum of interior angle to this particular side, this particular shape. How many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I do is I will just have to do the same formula, n minus 2 times 180, and use 7 minus 2 times 180, that is 5 times 180, or 900 degrees. Now let me just elaborate this. Why did we do for dodecagon? So we can find these sides, all these sides we have found out to be 150 degree, right? Because it's a regular dodecagon, that means all the sides are equal. And then these two sides are cut into half, so it's 75 and 75. We just could find these ends. Nothing about inside can be found because this is not a dodecagon. It's a part of dodecagon. Only the ends are similarly having the same angle of a dodecagon. Now here, this is a separate polygon, right? It's having 7 sides. So what we do over here, we find the interior angle for this particular shape. The total interior angle is 900, which I've written over here. That must be equal to, let's add up all the sides. It'll be equal to 75 plus 75, 2 75s, and how many? 150? 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 4 into 150. Plus this measure of angle 1. That is what we needed to solve. Now solve it up. Take this all to the other side. This is 150. It will be 900 minus 150 minus 300. 150 times 4 is 300 equals measure of angle 1. Now here we will solve for the measure of 1. Let's take all this to the other side. 75 plus 75 is 150 minus 150 minus 150 times 2 is 300, times 2 is 600. That is equal to the measure of angle 1. Now it will be 300 minus 150. So it's 150 degrees equals measure of angle 1. This corresponds to 150. It's not 90, it's more than 90. Yeah, it's 150 degrees. Just relate your answer and check. So the answer must be 150 degrees for measure of 1. The method, see, this method is simple as well. So you can just find, right, finding the interior angles, then find this 150, and this is relatable. Just divide this by 2 and make it 75, 75, and then the interior angle of the given polygon, and then by this formula over here, you can solve it up easily. The method might vary over here. It might be a different method, but the answer will be the same. Whichever you find easy, just follow that. So that's the end of this topic. Just make sure in the real world problems, you understand what has been asked, understand if it's part or, how to find way to apply the formula and how to solve it properly. Please do practice more problems. You'll be more thorough with the problems. Question 18 is to use tests for parallelogram to determine whether the quadrilaterals are parallelogram or not. Here we have to know few basic things of parallelogram. As the name suggests, parallelogram means, say for example, if you have opposite sides parallel, opposite sides equal, these are few criteria, and opposite angles are equal. So these are few things. Now looking at this, we know these two sides are parallel, and they have told these two are congruent as well. Now, are they then parallelogram? So if it's parallel, see now this side and this side is parallel and congruent, then opposite two sides will be equal and they will also be parallel no matter what. Whenever you connect these two ends, right? Doesn't matter how they are spaced. Even imagine now they are spaced like this and like this. If these both are parallel and congruent, when you join these two sides, they will be equal and parallel also. So that is okay. There is a theorem as well. So because a pair of its opposite side is parallel and congruent, it's denoted by theorem, which I have forgotten already. So this theorem particularly says yes, it is a parallelogram because this passes the test. Now what about this? This is also yes, it's a parallelogram because the opposite angles are congruent. So by 7.10 theorem, the quadrilateral is parallelogram because both the pair of opposite angles are congruent. Now here when you're writing, you must write yes, it is a parallelogram because both the opposite pair of opposite angles are congruent. Here you must tell what is happening. Here you don't need to mention theorem this and this, but this theorem is saying, see what this theorem says is this particular thing. That's it. And now same way over here. Now what about this one? No, there's no enough information to say this is a parallelogram. Okay, no one of the tests of parallelogram are fulfilled because yes, these two sides are parallel. So what exactly? This may not be parallel. These may not be equal. So there are so many things. This is not equal. So we can't just tell anything. Whereas this one, both the opposite sides are parallelogram. Then yes, it is a parallelogram because over here it is congruent, right? Yeah, even if it was parallel also yes. Now both the opposite sides are congruent, so yes, it's a parallelogram. This is one of the theorem that states if both pairs of opposite sides are congruent, then it's a parallelogram. And over here there are a few more. Over here the diagonals are bisected, so yes, this is a parallelogram as well because the diagonals are bisecting each other. And now what about the sixth one? There is no enough information because this is parallel. Yes, these opposite two sides. Now these are congruent. But if the same sides were parallel and congruent, then there is a theorem. But over here, no. We don't have a theorem that says any one pair is parallel and the other side is congruent. It's a parallelogram. No. It might be if these were parallel, yes, but we don't have enough information. Okay, so we cannot tell this is exactly a parallelogram. And now we have some real world problems. Here, in an organization, the space between the hinges and tray of collapsible tray organizer appears to be a parallelogram. This one over here given. Find the values of x and y so that the tray hinges of the organizer forms a parallelogram. Now basically the inner part, see this one. This is a parallelogram. It looks like a parallelogram as well, and they're given the angles. They're telling we need to arrange this such that it's a parallelogram. That means the opposite angles are equal. So just equate them. This is 3x plus minus 4. That must be equal to 2x plus 16. Solve this for x. Take 2x to the other side. It will be minus 2x equals 16 plus 4. And it will be x equals 20. X value is 20. Now we need to find y. Equate these both. It is 4y minus 56 equals 2y plus 34. Take 2y to the other side. It will be 4y minus 2y equals 34 plus 56. Here 50, 80, 90 will be the answer, and over here it's 2y. So divide both the sides by 2, you will get 45. So this is the answer. So this is it. X is 20, y is 45. Very simple. Now same concept can be applied over here. They're asking you x and y. They have just told the quadrilateral shown is a parallelogram. We need to find x and y. So the same concept, it's just that we have to equate the opposite sides now. In the previous one, it was angles. Now it's sides. Equate 2y plus 3 equals 4y minus 7 and 8x minus 3 equals 6x plus 1. Over here, it's done over here. X will be 2 and y is 5. Same way, just like what we have done a while ago. Now, what about this one? We need to find the angles of x and y. We know that in a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect. So what happens is I'll write the equation. Look at this line. This particular line must be equal to this particular line. The same with this line. I hope you understand. My drawings of that are very bad, but this line and this line are equal over here. And this is equal. So we have to just equate it. 3y minus 5 equals 2y plus 18. Just equate it and solve it now. It will be 3y minus 2y equals 18 plus 5. The answer is 23 here. Y equals 23. What about this x? It is minus 4x minus 2 equals minus 3x plus 4. So take the 4x to the other side because this is smaller. It's negative 4, which is smaller than negative 3. So take it to the other side and this 4 to the other side. Minus 2 minus 4 equals minus 3x plus 4x. The answer is minus 6 equals x. So these are the answers. X is negative 6 and y is 23. That's it. Because the diagonals bisect each other. That is very important to mention over here. It's very helpful if you mention this. Even if you write this, it's enough. But if you mention this statements, it's more than, it's well and good. Now then over here they have told again it's a parallelogram, so just equate the opposite sides. It's pretty straightforward. Equate them and solve it up. Here the worked out problem is the each detailed solution. This is very important. Don't skip steps. Try to mention all these steps and solve. Here then we have to the example 3, that's the problem 11. Determine whether ABCD is a parallelogram. Justify your answer. Okay, how can we determine this is a parallelogram? First thing, it looks congruent, but we need to know whether they are parallel. So what you can do is you can just find the slopes over here and then find the distance. Now, first of all, there are many ways to solve this problem. One way is, now if you just find the slope of this, and then find the distance. See over here, x and y. What is the xy coordinate? Minus 2 and positive 3, right? If you have the xy coordinate, you can easily find the distance from here to here also. This is how much? X is minus 3 and 0. You can find distance, you can find slope over here. Same thing do over here. Class. Otherwise, you can find all the slopes in all the 4 sides and then also you can apply. Let's see what they have done over here. They have found the slope and then they have found they have just found the slopes of all the sides. That's also fine. But now, because slope formula is easy to remember and it makes sense. It's easy to apply because you have to know the coordinates over here of all the points. Just apply the slope formula from here to here. And that's fine. Now I will tell you one more thing. This method is important. It's just the same thing what I'll be doing as well. Just substitute it and do it. The slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. All you need to do over here is, what is y2? That is, choose any 2 points. I will choose D and A. So over here it is minus 2 comma 3. Here it is minus 3 comma 0. x1 y1 x2 y2. So you can just substitute. Now in this case they have taken it like this: x2 y2 x1 y1. And even if you take it like what I had written, you will get the same answer. No worries in that. So 3 minus 0, or if you do 0 minus 3 and divide it by the other two terms, it will be the same answer. Your answer will be 3 no matter what. Now remember, you will find the slope of this, compare it with this, not the other lines. AD and BC, the opposite side must be parallel. Okay, now the another way is, look over here, 1x point and 3y point. So dy by dx, the difference in y is 3, x is 1, so it's 3. What about this? 1, 1, 2, 3. So dy by dx, this is for AD, line AD. This is for BC. It's 3 by 1. That is also 3. This is also one way to check your answer. If you just can't remember anything to write this at least. You will get the marks over here. And then what else over here? The slope of AB. How do you do that? So you know the coordinates. We have just seen the coordinates a while ago, so you can do the same thing with coordinates, but now I'll tell you the shortcut. X is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. dy by dx, x is 5, and this y is minus 1 downwards, so it should be negative 1 by 5. Over here, minus 1 dy by dx. So this is for the line DC, and this is for the line AB. Now here dy is negative 1. What is x? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the answer. Yes, the slopes are same. So therefore we can say that they are parallel. If at all the slopes were not same, then it's not parallel, then it's not a parallelogram. Here all the four sides are parallel, and hence ABCD is a parallelogram by definition. Here, now they have just given you the xy. There's no graph. Here you just have to apply the formula. Oh, the graph is not given, I believe. See, since they have given this, you can plot the graph if you want. But otherwise, you can just use x1, y1 and start solving. Now, here there is an important thing you have to notice. You need to draw a graph. Why? Because what happens is, you might take PQ, line PQ, okay? And then don't compare it with QS. So the important thing is, if you're directly doing over here without the graph, then you must solve for all the slope, line slope. PQ, QS, SY, and PY. All the slopes, two must match to each other. Now here, we must find all the slopes and match. If you did this diagram, then you know PQ and YS must match, or SY. So I should just match these both and then these both, because they are opposite sides. So that's the thing. Over here, you just do this, direct substitution. You'll get the answer 0. And these two lines are having slope 0 and 0. Yes, QS and PY, fine. What about the other two lines? Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yes, they are parallel because they are having the same slope. So all the sides are having same slope. It's a parallelogram. Please do it for the other problems as well. Please, now over here, they have used distance formula. It's fine. You can use distance formula or the slope formula. It's fine. But in the exam, if they have mentioned, they're specified, see, use distance and slope formulas. Even over here, over here there was only slope formula. Here they have told distance and slope. Even if you just do the distance or if you just do the slope, it will be correct answer. It's fine. You technically are doing it correctly, so you're supposed to get full marks itself. But over here, if you remember the distance formula, it's d equals square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. And then you solve it up. Here, opposite side, st and zt, are they having equal side? Yes. Now, one more thing is, find the slope for those same points, not the other point. You used what? SR and ZT. Here, find the slope, distance done, slope of the same two lines, because only if the lines are congruent and having same slope, that means they are parallel, then only it's a parallelogram. If you find this distance over here of SR and QT, sorry, ZT, and find the slopes of other two lines, it's no use. You're not finding it's a parallelogram or no. Now we here, yes, since the opposite sides are having one of the opposite sides, see one pair of opposite sides are congruent because we found the equal distance over here, and they are having same slope. This is a parallelogram because it's parallel and are congruent. Same thing here. Now here they are doing midpoint formula. Midpoint formula of what? It's of diagonals. Midpoint formula is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. It's very simple. Now, midpoint can't be done to lines. Don't forget, it's not for the lines. We have seen in the previous problems, diagonals bisect each other. So find the midpoint. We got 0, 2 and over here 0, 1. Now, can this be possible? If looking at this, it's not a parallelogram, but still, if it's a parallelogram, the midpoint of the diagonals must bisect each other. That means they'll join at the same point, the midpoint of both. These two lines are not at all accurate, which I've drawn. Okay, this must be extended, but you know the length over here, the midpoint for both will be touching each other. It should be same. Now here it's not same. Look, see, this is no, because the midpoint does not, intersect at the same point. Diagonals do not meet at the same point. So no, it's not parallelogram. Here again, the slope formula, that means just use all the slopes. And here what happened? When you just solve it up for the opposite sides, this one, x, z and y, z, looking at it, you can understand it's not at all a parallelogram. Sorry, they have used for x, y and z, w. What happened? The slopes are different. And looking at this also, this is a undefined slope and this is having some slope, negative slope. So they're not same, hence they are not parallelograms. And that's the end of this particular question. So make sure you remember a few formulas, that is the distance formula, the slope formula, the midpoint formula, and remember a few of the theorems which will prove parallelograms true. So if you know these things, then this is very easy topic as well. We are now in the question number 19. This is last but one question. It is about scale factors and dilations. You can read the question, it's pretty long. Mainly we will have to find the scale factors or find whether the figures are dilated according to the scale factors and etc. We will look into the problems. There are plenty of problems. The first ones are very easy. We have to just look into the figures. They have told the figure from left to right. See, the dilation is occurring from the left to right. The blue is the original, the right side, the greenish one is the dilated images. You need to tell whether they are enlargement, reduction, or what's happening exactly. So that's the thing. We need to find the scale factors for this, isn't it? So how do you find? Now we can see there is some enlargement. I mean, look at this. This is small, this is big. So obviously there's enlargement, whereas this one, it's a reduction. That's obvious from looking at it. Now, what is the scale factor? Here, it is very, very important that you know the formula thoroughly. Scale factor is not just any dimension by dimension. No. Scale factor is always divided by the original image. Divided by the original image. What is this? Then up is dilated image, right? Dilated. Now see any dimension over here for the dilated is 18. You must divide by the same side. If this is MN, which is the corresponding side, BC, right? That is divided by 6. Yeah, 18 divided by 6 is 3. So the scale factor is 3 here. And over here it is 6 dilated image divided by the original. It is half or 0.5. So whenever the scale factor is less than 1, it is reduction. Where it's more than 1, it is dilation. So here it's dilated, here it's reduced. That's the answers. Here also we can see them easily and tell this is a reduction, this is an enlargement. This will be 6 by 9, that is about 2/3. And over here 8 by 5, or it's 1.6. So we can see it's 2/3 and this is 0.666 less than 1. This will be 1.6 or 8 by 5, that is more than 1. Now here we have a real world sort of problem where Ezra is redrawing the blueprint shown of a stage he is planning to build for his band. This is the stage. By what percentage should he multiply the dimensions of the stage so that the dimensions of the image are half the size of the original blueprint? He wants to do it half of it. What will be the perimeter of the updated blueprint? Okay. So he wants to reduce the size by half. What is half? It's 0.5. So it's about 50% reduction. So basically, you just multiply all these units by half. This becomes 5, 5, 2, 1, 4, 2, and so on. This becomes 4. And that's it. Where is it? Over here, they have multiplied all these units. And now you need the perimeter. So add up all the sides. They have added up. Now, where they have exactly taken, I'm not sure. This might be the thing. 2, 1, 2. It's somewhere 5. You can see there must be two 5s. 1, 2. Yes. There are how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one up. How many 2's will be there? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And lastly, 1, 4. That's it. Add them all up. That's the answer. Very easy one. Now, they have given us coordinates and they have asked us for each set of triangle vertices, find the graph, the coordinate of the vertices of the image of dilation of the triangle for the given scale factor. Okay, you have to just find the dilations. Now, the scale factor is 0.5. Multiply all the coordinates by 0.5, you'll get the answer, right? So just multiply these coordinates, each one. But write in steps. See, write in the steps. Multiply this by 0.5, you'll get 4. That's negative 4 and 0. Here, negative 2 and 2. Negative 1 and 0. That's it. That will be the answer. They have not. They have told to graph. So what you need to do is just plot these coordinates. Minus 8, where is it? Minus 2, 4, 6, 8 and 0. This is the point J. Minus 4 and 4. 2, 4 and 4. That is K. And lastly, L is minus 2, 0. The dilated points are over here. Minus 4 and 0. Minus 2 and 2. And lastly, minus 1 and 0. So that's it. This is the dilated image. The dash represents the dilation or dilation. So original image won't have that dash. Same thing is done over here. Do it by yourselves and then check for the answers. Here everything is given in details. Just that you have to multiply by 1.25 and it is enlargement over here. Same thing again. It's a reduction. Multiply all the factors, all the coordinates by 1/3 and then this is the answer. And what do we have over here? Again, it's multiplying by 0.75. It's a reduction. Same concept. There's nothing different over here. They are very simple. Same one. Now we go on to the new type of problems. That is, what did they tell us? Okay, triangle. Okay, what we need to do is, I think, find the scale factor. Here they have given this image. They have told this is the dilated image of the original image JKP. So what is the scale factor? How do we find it? Now, if you can look over here, you can easily find one of the dimensions, distance. Sorry, JK is 1, 2. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. The scale factor is 2. That's it. But it's not so simply. I mean, yeah, that is correct. Technically, it's correct. 2 and 4. That's it. But it's better to use the distance formula. I guess they want you to use the distance formula. So first step, or else write in steps. Write the steps of the original, write the coordinates, of the original image. So over here, you just have to take one side and find. You don't need to find all the other sides. Only one side, okay? Only one side, scale factor, enough. That's it. Because all the others will be matching the same thing. So over here, you can technically see over here, it's already there. So you can directly take it. It's fine, I guess. But now, first thing, we are taking the coordinates of the original image JK. It's 2, 4, 4, 4. And then the dilated images 4, 8 and 8, 8. So these are the values. Next one, what you're doing is find the distance formula. You know the distance formula is given by square root of x2 minus x1, the whole square, plus y2 minus y1, the whole square. Okay. Now here you just substitute. Now this can, okay, now here you can write it as y2 minus y1 the whole square, x2 minus x1 the whole square. It's the same answer because I just realized, yeah, over here they have written y2 first. But answer will be same. It's fine. Here also you need to do the same thing. And then compare the distances. You got 2 for the original image, 4 for the dilated image. Divide the dilated image by the original image. 4 divided by 2 is the scale factor. That's it. That's how we basically do it. It's from the distance formula. Now, if you know Pythagoras theorem very well, you can even use Pythagoras theorem over here. This is a straight line. This is the vertical line, horizontal and vertical. When they join, they make a 90-degree. So what is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2. So you can apply Pythagoras theorem and use this dimension. And over here also Pythagoras theorem and use this dimension. The hypotenuse. Sorry. Use the hypotenuse and then solve it up. This is also possible. Up to you. Now, I will just show you by using Pythagoras theorem. 2 and 4, right? So this hypotenuse P dash K dash, the dilated image will be square root of 2 square plus 4 square. The answer will be 4 plus 16, that is root 20. That's it. Now what is PK? PK is over here, the hypotenuse, this and this, 1 and 2, isn't it? So it will be square root of 1 square plus 2 square. Now 2 square is 4, 4 plus 1, 1 plus 4, that is square root 5. Now just divide both of these. When you divide dilated image square root 20 by square root 5, what happens? Take the square root together, it will be 20 divided by 5. You can put it in the calculator, it's fine. It's square root 4, that is 2. The answer is 2, and we got the same thing. It's up to you. This is more simpler, I feel. That's why I told it, but you can even do the long method. You will get the correct answer itself. Same thing over here, same concept. Take any 2 points. Here also you can use the Pythagoras theorem and solve. Take any 2 points and find the distances and then solve it up. And then after finding the distance, you should just divide the dilated image by the original image to get the scale factor. Here this, you can see the dilated image is bigger. Bigger by what? 1.5 factor. Again, over here is the same thing. Now here, if it's very hard to find, see, because I can see what's the scale factor of the dilation. This is the original image, dilated image. The scale factor, see, these points are very hard, because they're not exactly anywhere at the point. This point is possible, okay, this line, sorry. Or you can just take the distance, any 2 distance. I can take this distance. This distance must be dilated evenly over here. Bottom left, yeah, these 2 are taken because they are more easily, this is half, right? So they are more easily available. So you can see this is 3 and this is how much? 3, 6, 7, 7.5. So the ultimate answer will be 3 and 7.5 just from reading out this, or you can use the distance formula, it's fine. And then just divide them both, you will get the answer. That's how we can easily solve it. The scale factor is 2.5 here. It's an enlargement. Now what have we got? Again, we have got the similar one which we have done before. The scale factor is given. Just multiply them throughout and then easily solve it up. We have done this just a while ago. And then we can graph it up. Here, the K value is 0.25. So it is a reduction. And you can see multiply throughout by 0.25 and get the answers. Even over here, it's the same concept. You can easily do it and then check for the answers. And we will go ahead. It's the same type, I believe. Now, this is also the same thing. Over here, the scale factor is 3 by 4th and then solve it up. And over here as well, same concept. Please do practice more and more problems. But first solve it and then check for the answers. Now, even we have done the similar one just a while ago. Take any 2 points, find the dilation. Always remember the dash are the dilated image. Without the dash, this is original image. Now here you can see there's a reduction because it's inside this. So obviously it's a reduction, but what are the coordinates? Now, I would just take 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 over here. And how much is it over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what you have to do is they have taken the distance formula, it's fine. But ultimately, scale factor would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 by 6. 4 by 6 is also 2 by 3. Now, here the side taken is different. But even if you take 4 by 6, it would be 2 by 3, isn't it? Because 2 times goes 2 table goes 2 times, and 3 times it's 2/3. Answer of the scale factor will be same whichever side you take. Even if you use this side, the slanting side, or any side, it will be the same thing. Last problem over here, same concept. Please do try to solve it by yourselves and then check for the answers. They have taken any 2 points, finding the distance, and then dividing them and finding the scale factor. From the figure itself, you can tell whether it's reduction or enlargement. This one is bigger than the original image, so it is an enlargement. So that's the dilation factor, the scale factor, sorry, it's 1.5. And that's the end of this topic. Please make sure this is an easy one. Please make sure you just remember when you find the scale factor, it's always dilated image divided by original image, not other way around. Also remember, if the dilated image is bigger than the original, it is an enlargement. If it's smaller, it's a reduction. For enlargement, the scale factor is bigger than 1, whereas for reduction, it's always less than 1. And finally, we are in the question 20, and this is the last question in the end of term questions. So this is on Pythagoras theorem, and it's to classify triangles using converse of Pythagoras theorem. Let's look into the problems. They are very easy. It's not easy. Easy would be a wrong word. It's a simple trick. Once you understand this, then it'll be the same method to be used. So here they have asked us to determine whether the points x, y, z can be the vertices of a triangle. If so, classify the triangle as acute, right, or obtuse. Justify your answers. That is what they have asked. So now, first of all, they have given us some points, coordinate points, right? This will be long method because you need to find the distance between the sides. Now, we have done distance many times before. So you can see step 1 is to just calculate the distance between all the 3 line segments which will make the triangle XYZ. So here XY, YZ and XZ. Then after you find the distance, you will get the 3 distances, right? This is a long part. Basically, you have to just put in the formulas and solve. It is very simple. It's just root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Find the distance. It's up to you to select the points. You can choose x, y. If you choose these two, then the next one will be y, z and zx or xz. 3 lines will be selected, okay? There won't be more lines, only 3 lines because there are only 3 points. After this, the important point. Here, okay, now it's better to not keep it into square root or square root 2 or square root 10. Keep it in terms of decimals. So we'll understand exactly what value it is. Yes, we can approximate this. This is more than 2. It's less than 3 because square root 9 is 3. It's somewhat near to 3. Yes, we can approximate it, but it's better we keep it in terms of decimal because in calculator you have to solve this. Put it in decimals, okay? Next, what you do is here check whether you can form a triangle or not. Now, this is an important method. See, the detailed and in-depth method for this particular problem, this particular lesson, I will put in the description. So please click on the link in the description and you can get more details about it. But now, just for this question, here, look at these values. There is a rule that states, that is the triangle inequality theorem. Whenever you add 2 sides, it must be greater than the other side. If not, then you can't draw a triangle. Now, what it means is choose any 2 sides, this and this. Okay, add them. 2.83 plus 1.41. What is the value? It is 4.24, right? Approximately. This is greater than 3.16. The other side, yes, this is true. Now this is done. These 2 sides are done. Take another 2 sides. Let's take this and this. So add them both. Here it will be 1.41 plus 3.16. That is equal to 4.57. This is greater than the other side, not this. Now, initially when we chose these 2 sides, This was the remaining side. Now we chose these two, so this is the remaining side, 2.83. Yes, it is greater. Then what is the remaining side now? We have this and this. So add them up, 2.83 plus 3.16, that will give you 5.99. It is greater than the other side, that is 1.41. All the three things check over here. All the three sides, when you add any two sides, it is greater than the other. Hence we can tell this is possible to form a triangle. These sides are possible to form a triangle. This is the thing. Okay, they have directly written it over here. 2.83, any two sides, it must be greater than the other side. Once you see these are the, this is the biggest side, so when you add up these two and then the biggest, then obviously it will be bigger. You just look at them, the whole numbers, and easily deduce it. After that, now we can tell the side lengths of these can form a triangle. If this does not follow, if one is, if this is not big enough, if when you sum any two sides, they are smaller than the other side, then you cannot complete the triangle. It will be hanging. It won't be completed. So it's not possible to draw a triangle in such case. And now then we have that. So classify the triangle. What type of a triangle is this? So you must use Pythagoras theorem. I'm sure you know what is Pythagoras theorem. That is c squared plus equals a squared plus b squared. Let me just draw a right angle triangle. So this is the hypotenuse opposite to 90 degrees, c squared. Other two sides are AC this is, and AB. Now, for right angle triangle, whenever you solve this, it will be c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Then it's right. Now, what if you add these squares of these both and the c square value is greater than that, the hypotenuse is greater than the sum of these two, then that means this is long. Okay, so it will be more than 90 degree. It's an obtuse angle, obtuse. Whereas if c square is less than a square plus b square, the hypotenuse is smaller, then this would be acute, less than 90 degree, it is acute. Now here we have to do the same thing, but look what happened here. When you solved, it became exactly equal. That means it's a right angle. The first case, this is only a right angle. So this is a right angle triangle. This triangle is right. Whereas if at all the c square value was greater than the sum of the other two sides. So now one more thing. How do you know which is c square? We have the three side lengths, right? These three. The biggest one is the c value. Okay, hypotenuse will be the biggest. So we directly take the biggest side equals the sum of the other two sides. That's it. But square them. Okay, it's just not the sum. It's square. Biggest side square equals the sum of the other two sides square. And this is the answer. And this is how we get it. Now over here, it's the same concept. Please make sure you solve it. First, you need to find the distance between all three lines. You get the distance. Then you need to check whether it's possible. See, now get it in decimal form and now check it whether it's possible to draw a triangle. Now here, when you sum any two sides, it is always greater than the other side. So yes, it's possible to form a triangle. Now then check what sort of triangle is this. When we solve over here, you can see the c squared value, the hypotenuse squared, is less than the sum of the other two sides. So what is the answer? It's acute. This triangle is acute. Why? Because when you added the two sides, these exceeded the hypotenuse. See, hypotenuse is small, or the sum of these two sides are bigger. If c square is less than a square plus b square, it's acute. That's it. Please make sure you solve the others. Now the video link in the description gives you more detail. You can go through that as well. So if you want more depth, like why you can't get triangles and stuff, like different examples of when you can't draw a triangle, and everything is there in the video. Over here, the same thing. First thing is find the distance of all the three sides, and then you need to just check whether it's possible to draw the triangle or no. And then if it's possible, you need to do the Pythagoras theorem. This is the converse of Pythagoras theorem. Using the Pythagoras theorem, you're telling whether it's a right angle, obtuse, or acute. Now here the c square hypotenuse is greater, so this means it's an obtuse angle. It's more than 90 degree. And the same concept over here as well. Please do try to solve these problems by yourselves and then check for the answer. Over here it's possible to form, and only then you can do the last step, and it's a right angle triangle here. And now we have another type of problem, tethers. To help support a flagpole, a 50-foot long tether is tied to the pole at a point 40 feet above the ground. Okay, see, this is the tether over here, above 40 feet. That means the pole is 40 feet. They have given in the figure. The tether is pulled taut and tied to an anchor in the ground. How far is it from the base of the pole? This is the distance you need to find. Now look over here. This is a Pythagoras theorem. It's a very easy problem. 40 is this. Hypotenuse is 50. What is this distance? Let's apply Pythagoras theorem because it's 90. It's a right angle triangle, or the angle is 90 over there. C square equals a square plus b square. What is c square value? It's 50 square. That will be equal to 40 square plus x square. You can don't put directly in the calculator because it's writing exam. You need to write in detail. Now take this to the other side. It will be 50 square minus 40 square equals x square. Now you need to take the square root of this. 50 square minus. Now you can just put in the calculator and find the x value. Just put the square root. 50 square minus 40 square. The answer is 30, and that's the x value over here. X is 30 equals x, or x is 30. That's how we do it. We'll just see. Okay, if at all the diagram is not given, you need to do the diagram. Okay, here, see, whenever they are telling support a flagpole, this poles will be straight, so it's 90 degree. Okay, and this is supporting it from here. They have told of the top of the pole, and they're tying it to the ground. It's slanting, obviously that's mentioned. They are pulling this and from the top to the ground, so it's slanting, right? That's the hypotenuse, and this distance is what we had to find, and that was 30. That's it. Now even if you don't do calculator, I just realized it's 50 square. I don't know why I zoned out. 50 square is very simple. Square the 5, it's 25, and add 2 zeros. 40 square is the same thing. Square the 4, and since it's in tens, it'll be 2 times 0. Okay, 2 zeros must be added. 16 and 2 0, 1600. So it'll be 2500 minus 1600. That's 900. Square root of this is, this 2 zeros become 1 0, and 9 becomes 3, so it's 30. That's the answer. It must be pulled 30 feet from the base of the pole. Now, again, we have done these problems a while ago. The same thing, find the distance. Now here, wait a minute, they have told that this is the sides of the triangle. So you don't need to find the distance. It's a short problem. They have given you the sides. These are the 3 sides. All you need to do is test whether this can form a triangle or no. Add any 2 sides. See, this is the thing. Add 2 sides, check whether it's bigger. Add other 2 sides, check whether it's bigger, and add the other 2 sides. It's bigger than, when you add 2 sides, it will be bigger than the other side. So you can form a triangle over here. That is based on triangular inequality theorem. And then what we do is we just have to use the Pythagoras theorem. And now here you can see the c squared is less than 17. If the hypotenuse is less, now how I understand this is 90 degree is flat, right? If it's less, the hypotenuse, so it'll be something like this. So it'll be, okay, it'll be less than 90. If it is big than, hypotenuse is big, then it'll be something like this, obtuse. Okay, so this one is less, the hypotenuse is smaller, so it's an acute angle over here, and that's the answer. Same thing over here, same problem, same method. Just substitute over here. First, from the triangle inequality theorem, check whether it is possible to draw. Now, most probably they will give you a possible question itself, but you must write this down. Obviously, it should form a triangle. Otherwise, this is it. You just tell it's not possible and it's over. So most probably they will give you a question which will be possible to draw a triangle. But make sure you do these steps. That is important. And then you need to check for the Pythagoras theorem. Here it's exactly equal. That means it is a right angle triangle. And the last problem, same method, but these are the sides. So we don't have to do the distance formula at all. Directly check whether you can draw a triangle. Yes, it's possible. And now do the Pythagoras theorem. And over here, again, we got equal. That means it's a right angle triangle. So whenever it's right angle triangle, c squared will be equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. And that's the end of the last question, the question number 20. I hope these videos have been helpful to you guys. I wish you the very best for exam. Please do practice as much as you can. Practice more problem. Don't just watch the videos or don't just see the solutions. Try to solve by yourself. Write it and practice. And before I end this, I would just ask you if you can subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. The reason why I say subscribe to my channel all the time is from the YouTube stats, you can see that more than 80% of the people who watch my videos have not subscribed. Only 20%, less than 20% of the viewers are subscribed viewers. So it would mean a lot if you guys just hit the subscribe. Subscribing is free. And I want to thank all those who have subscribed. It means so much to me. Thank you guys. And I just wish all the best. And one more thing, if you know any of your relatives or friends who are in cycle 3, that is grade 9, 10, 11, 12 advanced, please do share them these videos. They will also benefit and it would mean so much to me. Thank you so much and all the best for your exams. I hope everyone gets great marks.